versus automatic. So automatic, it's going to do whatever it needs to do on a daily basis, weekly basis. How does that? It depends upon the demand.
Depends on the demand of the water.
Okay.
So right now it might not give a full system because it's full.
Yes.
Right.
So unless we actually took that and emptied some of that water out,
Yeah.
which we could. At the bottom, there is a drain valve that you could empty manually,
Okay.
or we can empty it just by pulling that up.
Cool.
But the manual, just open it up, let it flow down, and then you'll be able to just refill that tank again.
Okay. And then for manual, what would be the reason to do it manual?
And like I said, if you feel that it's not that water tank hasn't moved, you feel that it stayed the same, and you haven't seen a runtime or there's some kind of signal stating that there's an issue,
Yeah.
then I would say kick it into manual mode and let it run.
But if the tank is full and you run manual, it doesn't really do much, right?
It won't do much. It has an overfill valve,
Yeah.
so it'll go through the overfill valve and empty itself out. It'll never overfill
Oh,
itself.
perfect. Okay. That's good to know. We have a floor seat right next to it.
Correct.
Okay.
It does also. Correct.
If you like, I can drain the tank.
It is a high level.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
We'll see the whole full motion.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, right here. If you look right here, you can see it floating up. That's the photo. Oh, no, that's the high level. That's like northeast. Oh, yeah.
And with the pre-filter, I recommend, once a year, opening it up, checking it, make sure it's clean, and changing out the filter.
Okay.
With the membrane, this will detect as the membrane is needed to be replaced.
Okay.
If it needs to be replaced, we would do like a shutdown. Obviously, we shut main water down,
Yeah.
and then we would shut pump down. Make sure all power is off to the system.
Okay.
There's no electrical to this pump or no electrical to that pump as well.
The main tower? Yeah. Like some kind of disconnect.
So, how does the pumps talk to each other?
Well, this pump just talks to this pump.
Okay.
And as it's needed, as they were saying, for the your system, that one pumps to your system.
Yeah, that's gonna draw everything out for that speed boiler. That's gonna get
Is that Bluetooth or something? Because all I see is power on that.
this power.
Yeah, but how does that pump know to turn on?
Well, there's a float system inside here.
Float system. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, okay. So it's going off of this.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So like a separate plug in from the outside. Now plug into your system.
Correct.
Comes on its own power. So if you lose power there.
How does it? Well, yeah, but how does it connect to the float system? Is that like a pressure?
Yes, yeah. The thing here is close water. It's not gonna work. Can we remotely monitor this, or it's just local?
Like I said, we'll find out if you got it connected to the BMI building system. It looked like it was, or it is connected. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. So if it's not, then obviously you won't be able to know. You have to be able to control here. But you're really not needed to control it from the building because it'll indicate something's wrong here. And it won't hurt anything if something's going on. It'll just stop.
So right now.
They're all the alarm.
It's shooting and draining.
There is.
Yeah, that's the whole.
It'll do like a little alarm.
Like a beeping or whatever it is. Yeah, you'll hear it. Yeah, when you count the bottom, or you can count it.
Correct.
I think you can adjust the alarm from here.
There's a silence alarm and turn it off.
Yeah.
Like I said, holding depressing the two buttons and depressing small the same time, you'll be able to get into it. And then if you feel that, you hear the pump but you don't see it with the water moving, you see the water moving, you're able to open this up and it does have indication lights on the inside. It has little red indication lights that'll tell you pump running, RO pump running. It'll indicate the feed water that's flowing through it. So it'll give you all the indications for what's going on with the system.
So remind me again, what's the pressure that's be? Okay, so
The minimum is 20 psi.
20 psi.
Yeah. Right now you're looking at 80. 80 right now, yeah.
Okay.
Is there a max?
I think it's a 100 psig.
So that's regular is regular.
Yeah, right now, it dropped to 50 psig. Right now you're okay. I think what it was doing is it was holding that back pressure. So you're getting the 80 psig, but normally this is probably set to what, 50, 60.
You mentioned something about flushing the tank. Where are you guys gonna flush it? It's gonna go to recycling?
It flushes out into the drain.
Empty into that
Or the drain?
Correct.
Yeah, floor drain.
And then it'll replenish.
And on the inside, the feed line that feeds for the water, it should be a few inches above the water.
Okay.
Because what happens if it's not and it overfills itself, it'll then siphon itself.
What's the maintenance for the tub? So do we have to empty and clean it every so often, or
I would say-
I know it's clean water, but there's
I would say once a year, empty it out, just make sure there's nothing.
okay. Do we have to do like a tablet in there? Do we have to do anything?
No tablets.
Everything is already done.
Everything,
Yeah.
and the membrane takes care of all that. I mean, I would just empty it out yourself manually,
Okay.
leave everything off, and then refill it back up again.
Does this thing control your printers? It's like it tells you if you requires replacement. Same thing with the membrane.
It'll lower a pressure. Your pressure will drop because this is going to tell your pressure indication. Correct, and then you have your low pressure indicators on it as well.
And that's the only way you can tell.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Or the other way you could tell is if it's extremely shooting this way or it's shooting back to zero.
That makes sense.
Then something's going on with that filtration system.
There's more to the gauges.